Hello and welcome back to the channel. Yesterday I talked about a prototype of LPZZ or UPF Batman Hush, and in today's video I have brand new promo images of the upcoming City Toys number 105 Blue Batman Hush KO. Pre-order link is down in the video description, so check it out, and if you didn't watch my previous video, I will say it here again. City Toys now has a new store called KK Outdoor Boutique Store. Finally Toy Store is going away, and this is now their new official store for all City and Mass Toys products, so my links will now lead you straight to this new store. As always, today's promo images are provided to me by the guys from City Toys in order for us to take a look at them, so without further ado, that's what we're gonna do, so let's jump right in. And of course, we're gonna start with the packaging. As expected, this is the exact same box as their previous black and gray version, but this time in a blue color. We even have the same purposely made typo or a change of the name of the character. So this again is not Batman, but Bayman Hush, as you can see written on the front of the box. Now obviously this is something that these companies tend to do on their KO products. They like to twist the name or change it completely into something more generic in hopes of avoiding copyright issues with the name itself. I won't pretend like I know how these legal copyright issues work, but there's obviously a good reason why a lot of these KO companies are doing this on their copies. If you guys remember, early on, City Toys were keeping the official character names and logos on their boxes. Then they switched to completely removing all licensed names and logos from their boxes, and now they are doing this thing where they are using these slightly changed names of the characters. That is why we now have Daredevil and Bayman. But I have to say that I like this box design for their Hush figures. This blue looks really good. We have a nice plastic window showing the figure, and we see what I believe are promo shots of the official Mafex figure that City copied and put on their packaging. There is one in front and one on the side of the box. Then we have a look at the back of the box, and here we see even more promo shots taken from the official packaging. And here they are also highlighting accessories that we are getting in this set. His alternate hands with grappling guns and batarangs, and also a total of 3 different head sculpts, including an unmasked Bruce Wayne's head. Now obviously, City Toys decided to do the same thing with these 2 Bayman releases, same as what Mafex did with the official ones. And that is, the unmasked Bruce's head comes in this set, and the gargoyle base is coming with black and gray version. So, in order to have both of these accessories, you need to get both sets. But that trade-off hurts our wallets less in this case, because these KOs are much cheaper than the originals, of course. So, that is our first look at the packaging for this new City Bayman. And then, here is our first look at a fully painted blue Batman. Sorry, again, not Batman, but Bayman Hush. And maybe this is not as groundbreaking or exciting as the first time we saw their black and gray version, and not because this blue version doesn't look good, it does, but because this time around we knew what to expect. It's a repaint of the same body mold, same as what happened with the original releases. But again, maybe it's not exciting in that sense, but it is still very exciting to see a fantastic knockoff of this version of Batman Hush. We already know that, same as the first one, he will be the same size as the original Mafex figure, and this is a big and important adjustment that City Toys made a while back, first with their Revoltech 2.0 Spider-Man, if I remember correctly. So this blue Bayman Hush looks really good. I like the darker blue and also a darker gray shading on the whole body. It will be interesting to see the quality of the cape, but the previous one is great, so I'm sure we'll get the same quality on this version as well. Of course, the cape is also wired. Bayman has his yellow belt, bat symbol on the chest looks nice and sharp, and this default head sculpt also turned out good, even though I feel like it's probably a bit softer in comparison to the original, but that's how it usually goes with these knockoffs. I do have the original Mafex Blue Batman Hush, so I'm looking forward to see how this City copy compares to the real deal. I've also noticed on some of their latest releases, City Toys improved on hiding those small metallic loops on elbows and knees that were always visible on their past copies. For all of those who enjoy their figures, it is good to see that they are always putting an effort into improving their work. Moving forward to the next image, here we see him with that alternate unmasked Bruce Wayne's head sculpt, and yeah, I would say that it looks pretty good. The design is kind of simple and animated, but that's how the original is as well. Eyes, eyebrows and the mouth line are all done very cleanly, so that's good to see. The hair also looks good, and I'm not sure if it's just the lighting or if there is a little bit of shading on it, but overall, again, I think that this turned out pretty good. What do you guys think? Are you satisfied with how the head looks? Let me know down in the comments. Whenever I'm looking at these KOs, especially high quality KOs like the ones that City Toys are making, I often have to remind myself that it's too much to expect for these copies to look 100% the same as the originals. These are knockoffs, and so there will obviously be some differences. They will never be the same as the original, although, well, I say never, but the way that this KO market is going, with some of these companies making great copies, you never know. Maybe we are not that far away from a point where copies will look exactly the same as the originals. A few years back, I actually never thought that we will even reach this point where we are now, and yet here we are. So who knows what the future holds for us? Only time will tell. But I have to say that I really like this pose that they did for this photo. His cape draping forward over his shoulder, covering one arm, while the other arm is bent in elbow, holding one of his Batarang accessories. In my opinion, this is a shelf-worthy pose, especially if you have multiple of this figure. Then we have this next shot of Bayman posed like he is jumping through the air, with his wired cape spread out, and here we can see how big that cape really is. I know that some people don't like it and think that it is too big, but personally I don't mind it. I love putting my figures in more dynamic poses, and having a great Batman figure with a large posable cape is something that I really enjoy in. It just gives you a lot of displaying options, and there's nothing wrong with that, at least in my opinion. Here we see that alternate unmasked angry head with grinning teeth, and it also looks good. And I should also not forget to mention that we are getting a flight stand here. So even though that gargoyle base is not included in this set, City Toys is still giving us a display stand. They tend to do that with their releases, and we should not overlook that. You never know, maybe this Bayman will be someone's first ever action figure, and maybe they don't have flight stands laying around. So I appreciate that City is doing the same thing as Mafex with the originals and is giving us stands with their figures. And then we have this promo shot of the figure in another nice and dynamic pose, getting ready to shoot from his grappling gun, and look at the cape. Look how they posed it. This is what I was talking about just a minute ago. Look how natural it looks, like it's literally floating through the air. With one side going back and the other one moving forward, this creates a nice dynamic pose that is, again, shelf-worthy. Of course, each collector can do whatever they want with their figures, but for me, these figures are meant to be posed around in all kinds of dynamic poses. With their articulation, they are not meant to be just standing in a dull vanilla pose on the shelf. You can interact with them, change the pose every now and then. To me, that's the beauty of these high-end articulated figures, even though we are talking about a KO here. So, because we already have their black and gray copy, we know what to expect out of this blue one in terms of quality of the plastic and in terms of articulation. These copies pose just the same as the originals, so there should be no issues there. And finally, here is our last photo that they sent. Here we see everything that is included in this set. The figure with a stand, a bunch of alternate hands with different gestures, grappling hooks, longer and shorter one, alternate angry masked head, and an unmasked Bruce Wayne's head that also comes with an alternate neck piece that I forgot to mention earlier. I've seen people use this head on other bodies, creating their own custom Bruce Wayne figures, so I'm sure that this KO will be of a use to a lot of customizers, creative people out there, and that is also one of the beauties of getting a copy for much cheaper than the original release. Cheaper parts and cheaper pieces. In the upper left corner we have some basic information about this figure. It is 16 centimeters tall, and then 15.5 by 5 by 21 centimeter is the size of the packaging. 220 grams per packaging is its weight, and everything else below that is the info for the whole case, containing 60 packs of this guy. There is also this video clip of the figure on a rotating base, and I love when they make these because we get a nice 360 look at the figure. So I will let it rotate a little bit more for you guys. But yeah, there you go. That was my look at these new promo images of City Toys Blue Bayman Hush that were sent by City themselves. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did going through all of these, and now I would love to hear your thoughts about this upcoming City Toys copy. What do you think? Do you like how the figure turned out? Are you excited about this release? Do you plan to get it? Which one do you prefer, black and gray or blue and gray version? And why? Let me know all of it down in the comments. Once again, pre-order link for this blue Bayman Hush and for all other City and Mass Toys releases are down in the video description so that it is easier for you to find what you are looking for. They will lead you to the new official City and Mass Toys store on AliExpress called KK Outdoor Boutique Store. Funly Toy Store is slowly going away, and this is now their new store. I strongly suggest that you use my links so that you know that you are getting these figures straight from CT and that you don't get scammed on AliExpress. Blue Bayman Hush is scheduled to be released in late November, so we are not that far away from having this figure in our hands. Now, I've been covering everything City Toys related for over a year, and when I think about it, it's crazy how fast the time went by. I can't believe that it's been a whole year since I started collaborating with them, since my first Brown Suit Wolverine video. But because I'm doing that, I remembered that there are few of their older releases that I still didn't review. In fact, at the moment, there are only two of those older figures that are still available, and those are the SHF Symbiote Toby Spider-Man KO and their KO of Mafex Miles Morales. And so now I'm pleased to say that I ordered both of those figures, so I will review them as soon as they arrive. I know that I'm late to the party with these, I don't care, it doesn't matter, I still want to check them out myself. Unfortunately, their standard SHF Toby Spider-Man and Gwen are out of stock for months now, and I don't know if they will ever restock them. I have these original SHF figures, so I'm good, but these two CTKOs will remain the only two that I didn't review on my channel. Who knows, maybe down the line they really do get them back in stock, and if that happens, I'll make sure to get them. But that's all I have for you for today's video. The end of the year is near, and I still have a lot of work to do, a lot of reviews to make, and news to cover. In terms of my channel, this has been the busiest year for me, and I'm doing this for almost 5 years now. I don't mind it. I enjoy doing this and seeing how this community is growing around the channel. It's a true pleasure to be a part of this whole story and to talk to all of you guys who are here and who are supporting my work, so thank you for all of that. I hope that this will continue and that we all together will see even more great figures coming our way in the future. A KO of Hush Superman first, right? Of course. As always, a huge thank you to my Patreon and channel members for their support. If you can also join and help, please do so, links are in the video description. And of course, to all of you guys, thank you so much for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.